everybody. We are here with Israel and Jasmine. I am so excited for you guys to hear their story. They live in California and bought their very first rental property all the way by me in Memphis, Tennessee, one of my only students to ever buy in my area. So that always gets me excited. I actually got to go see your guys' house, which was a real plus for me. So before we dive into that, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, like where you guys are from, which I kind of already said, what you do for work, and kind of what got you started down the idea of wanting to invest in rental properties.
Hi, my name is Israel, and I live in the North LA part, North LA County, and I work in transportation, and this is my wife, Jasmine.
Hi. Obviously we both live together, but I work in, I run a small Etsy business. So that's also kind of why one of the things I related to with Casey on, because we both started with Etsy.
And we always wanted to start in real estate. It's something that we have looked into, but we're always kind of afraid to jump in. But we finally decided, maybe this is a good time to just start looking into investing in real estate. And that's how we came across Casey.
What kind of research did you guys do before you joined my program? I know there's like so much information out there. I remember like back in the day before the internet, everyone was like, there's not enough choices. I don't know what to do. And I feel like now with technology and the internet, it's information overload personally. So I'm curious, like what types of research did you guys do into investing? There's like Bigger Pockets and there's YouTube videos and there's real estate books and podcasts and all sorts of things. I'm sure it was a little bit of a journey or a process absorbing information before you guys decided to take the plunge and actually buy something. I'm curious what that kind of journey looked like for you.
I think that we mainly would watch like videos online, either YouTube or Instagram coaches. I didn't come across Bigger Pockets till closer to like when we signed up with you. So I did know about them a little bit, and I would research a little bit that way, but mainly just online resources.
Yeah, and people that I would follow on Instagram that would give little nuggets of information about real estate investing. Prior to this, we have also had experience purchasing a house, but it was for ourselves. It wasn't an investment property, but we had an idea of what the process was to a degree. But there was a lot of questions that were very specific to our situation that no YouTube video or Instagram could answer. And I think, that's kind of how we landed here.
I love it. There was a lot of different parts of my program. I feel like, it's 5+ whatever months long, and there's an online course, there's a coaching program, and all those different facets, I feel like, which in my opinion, kind of help make it a well-rounded, helpful experience. What would you say you benefited from the most from the Success with Rental Properties program? Like what actually helped you move the needle, get your rental property, accomplish your goal? What certain parts of that do you feel were the most impactful for you?
You want to go?
Yeah, there were a few things actually. First of all was the one-on-one coaching, just having somebody there to answer all the specific questions and to kind of guide you through, what to do first, what to do after that. That was really helpful. And just also having somebody like Casey to follow up with us and see, where are we with their next step, and kind of, taking us by the hand and just guiding us through. I think without Casey, we really wouldn't know what like step 2 is. Anybody can kind of go look at properties that are for sale, but like, what do you do next? How do you research what is going to be the most beneficial to me and my type of investment? So just having somebody that you can ask a question, that is knowledgeable, that has done this before, and also just having somebody that has the same mentality as we did. So like we wanted, with Casey, like what she has going on, her type of investment properties.
What were some of the things that you were like worried about prior to joining the program? Because if you would have thought, hey, I can do this all by myself, I got it, like you wouldn't need me, right? So what were some things that you were like, oh crap, like we probably should get someone to help us? Like what were you worried about doing it on your own? Like why did you feel like you needed some assistance?
First off, with just financing, we had a lot of questions. We didn't know, which lender we should go with or what kind of loan we wanted. And we didn't even know just really where to begin with that. And then, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, and I would say too, just there's just a lot of questions that come up along the way. So I didn't know what type of like ROI I should be, return on investment I should be looking for, especially, the times change and the housing market changes. So I kind of needed, advice on, how do I figure out, what a property is going to cash flow? How do I figure out what neighborhood I should invest in? All of those types of things.
Yeah, we're kind of overthinkers. So when we would just try to come up with like what we wanted to do, there was just too many options that we were like, we need someone to help us like narrow it down and just kind of stay on top of us, like if sometimes we would think about investing, but then we'll just kind of forget about it for a while and then like come back to the idea and then forget. But when it was in the course, we'd get a follow-up email like, so how far have you gotten? Like, what's the next step? Like, so that helped us like just stay accountable.
I 100% agree on the overthinking. I mean, we could just like spin our wheels for months, honestly, for months. If we don't have some type of guidance, we would just, just spin our wheels on even the area that we wanted to look at, so many areas. So like, how do we narrow all of this down?
I love it. Well, let's talk about your property. I want everyone to hear about your Memphis house. So, did you have other markets in mind? Now I know all these answers, but did you have other markets in mind, before you decided on Memphis? What was your research kind of phase like? Because most people are like, I don't know how to pick a market. Like, that's usually their hang up. That's their analysis paralysis and where they don't move forward. So I'd love to know a quick, journey on how you arrived at your market, and then tell us about your investment property.
You want to talk about the market?
Yeah, there was a few markets we were considering. Arkansas, we were looking at Ohio, Mississippi was another one, and then of course Memphis, Tennessee. And we ultimately decided, based on what we learned from Casey, we wanted to pursue the Memphis area. So we started to look a little deeper in that market. And that's kind of how and even then, sometimes we would talk to Casey about like, should we be looking at a second market? But she would guide us to like, okay, no, look at this and that, before you look at other markets. So that's kind of how we landed on that. And then you want to talk about the house?
Yeah. So the house is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Memphis. We bought it for $125,000, which was asking price. But when we first saw the house, it was actually listed for more. And I had just put it into my like favorites that I was going to come back to it. And I had put that if we did offer, we wanted to offer 125 just to get the like amount of cash flow that we wanted for it. And after like 2 weeks, we noticed them drop the price. And so I was like, well, that was the price we wanted to give them anyway. So let's just offer asking price, but with 2% seller credit so we could buy down the rate. And they accepted that offer. And yeah.
So how fast did you get a tenant in? And you guys just told me that fun tidbit of info before I hit record. Tell us about the tenant experience and your rental amount.
So when we first ran our numbers and talked to different people to get like our property manager, our realtor, to get an idea of like what it would rent for, everyone estimated about $1,350 a month. And they said maybe, 14 on the higher end. And So we thought, let's just take a chance and put it for a little bit higher, like put it on the market. And like, if it doesn't sell or if it doesn't rent, then we can always just drop it later. So we started off with $1,495. And our property manager told us, the date it was going to get listed. And we woke up that morning that it was supposed to be listed, and it was already rented. Yeah, they said they found a tenant within 2 hours of posting it. So we were really excited.
Yes.
Like so excited that morning, jumping up and down, like really, really excited about that.
That is cool. And what's your guys' cash flow on this rental?
So for the first year, it's renting for $1,495, and the cash flow is $643. And they signed a 2-year agreement. So the second year it goes up $50. So they're going to rent it for $1,545, and our cash flow is $689 a month.
And that's gross after fixed expenses. So not including variable, but holy muffins.
Yeah, it was way higher than we were expecting. And yeah, that's after property management expenses and everything.
So how much work did this house need before you guys got it rent ready?
It needed a few things, but nothing major. Actually, the seller paid for a new AC unit, so that was good, and a new furnace. It just needed to be replaced, and we were able to work that out with them. But after that, we had just some minor plumbing.
Yeah,
how much would you say
we repainted the kitchen and the whole house.
Yeah.
What else did we do? I think in total we ended up spending about $8,000 on repairs. Just like little things like taking a broken fence out of the backyard, and I think there was a few other things. They had to fix a little thing on the floor, like a raised up section of the floor, but it was nothing major. But it did add up a little bit, but it's still worth it. Because we got the house at a really good price, and then
yes, for a 4-bedroom, yes, is a really good deal.
Yeah,
I am so happy for you guys. So what is next for you? What is, like, you got your first rental. What are you guys thinking next for your next investment?
Definitely want to keep going. Yeah, we like this. We like the results we saw. And even in a market like, it's May of 2023. I mean, there's still so many opportunities out there. We're still constantly looking at properties, just because it's almost like you're more excited for your next one because you see the opportunities out there. So yeah, definitely want to keep investing.
Yeah, I think we talked about maybe like a goal of 1 to 2 properties a year would be ideal.
I love it. So would you guys say through this whole experience that you would recommend my program to others, that the investment was worth it? I know it's not super cheap, for my coaching program, but what would you say to other people who would maybe be on the fence or watching this because they're like, well, maybe I'll join Casey's program. I'm not sure. Is she worth it? Am I going to get the results? What would you say to them?
100% would recommend. Like, honestly, we would be lost if we were trying to do this ourselves, or if we were in a group setting where you're just, you're learning the information, but you don't have that one-on-one attention. Especially if you're a first-time investor like we were, there's like no way we would do that in any other way. We would definitely do it the same way we did it this time.
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, it's worth it. I know it does sound like a high number at first, and I was pretty convinced from the beginning because I had followed you for a while, and I liked your style and the hand holding thing, but I was worried I couldn't convince him at first because I was like, it's a big number for, when you first hear it, and you're just like, okay, like, that could go towards part of the down payment or something. But we knew that we weren't going to be able to really like go forward with it and like be successful on our first try unless we hired a coach. And we really liked just being able to send you an email anytime and, just get a quick answer to our questions, because I feel like, just searching online, you can't find exactly like to your specific situation, the answer to that question. So it's worth it. I think it's very worth it.
Yeah, and thanks too for all the help that you did in all the houses that we looked at together, where you helped us run the numbers. That was all very helpful. There's like no information out there that would have helped in that way of kind of like, okay, looking at a specific property and just helping us run through the numbers and run through the location and helping us, what to do next. So that was definitely helpful.